Well, it will be a showdown between Cyril Ramaphosa and Zweli Mkhize for the top job of the ANC. The party's top 6 candidates have been announced, and there are only 2 women on that list. Well, there's also a lack of youth representation, but let's unpack this now with columnist Peter Bruce, who joins me this morning for his reaction. Peter, pleasure having you, and thank you so much for your time. Is this the leadership that we've been waiting for to, I don't know, I suppose, take South Africa out of the slump? Is this the creme de la creme, the best of the ANC as an organization?
That's a cruel question. I doubt it. I suspect it's the leadership Cyril Ramaphosa has been looking for. He pretty much got everything he wanted, other than the deputy presidency, which is going to go. You can see clearly to Paul Mashatile, who's not necessarily in Cyril's camp, but neither is he out of it. And I would have thought that as the nominations go, and obviously there's horse trading to be done when the ANC actually meets later on in December. So some of these positions might change, but basically Cyril has enough votes to nail the job, barring surprises on the Pala Pala farm robbery. Paul Mashatile has enough votes just to clear him, even if he's the runners-up in that race, Ronald Amola and Oscar Mabayane, combined theirs, they couldn't catch him. Stan Matabata is going to be the new chairman. There's an interesting thing in the chairmanship, because Gwede Mantashe didn't do too badly. He gets 979 nominations as opposed to Stan Matabana's 1,492. But if you combine Mantashe with David Msondo, they get pretty close to that number. And obviously you want these things to come down to two-way races, and it may be that David Msondo would help push Gwede Mantashe over the line. And I'm not sure how Cyril Ramaphosa would feel about that. Mantashe has been easily the most destructive minister in the cabinet, as far as energy is concerned, anyway. And I don't know whether Cyril would want him back as chairman. It gives him very little leverage over Mantashe. And Dumaseni Ntuli is a straw guy for Secretary General, way out in front again. Pumulo Masuale and Fikela Mbulula is not going to help Masuale get the job. They have between them just enough votes to overtake Ntuli, but I think that's probably going to happen as well. Ntuli will do it, and then he gets Nomvula Mokanyane as a clear leader for Deputy Secretary General, and even when it comes to Treasurer, it's a bit closer. But the 2 leading contenders are close to Cyril, Benjamin Chake and Pulem Mabe. So, certainly it would be the top 6 best top 6 that Cyril could possibly hope for. Whether he can turn that into actionable policy, whether he can whether he's got the right policies. I don't know whether this changes any of it.
Can I just ask Peter, just regards to the women representation, what your views are? I mean, obviously we know that Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma and Lindiwe Sisulu are vouching for the presidency nomination list, but also Mamoloko Kubai, who I spoke to yesterday, also trying to get into the final cut for the deputy presidency. But only we're seeing the deputy SG getting 2 women representation. What's your take there on the women representation in this list?
Well, I mean, both Lindiwe Sisulu and Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma did incredibly badly in that nominations race and are out. And possibly this is the end of their political careers. Whether they get back on the list, I'm sure they will, for Parliament. But I think that's this is them out of politics, out of cabinet, maybe even out of the NEC. We'll have to see about that. Mameloko Kubai did very badly in the race for national chairperson. Yeah, look, I mean, I think for all of these jobs, she did better. She did better in the job in the race, much better than Nkosazana and Lindiwe did in the race for deputy presidency. But this is the ANC, it's a patriarchal movement, or whatever they may say. The guys rule. The Women's League has done nothing, really. You can look at the leadership and you'll understand why. Yeah, excuse me. The party is not, no matter how often they say they're ready for it, they're not ready for a woman leader.